Hello there. Welcome to the series finale of season 1 of Tales from Peridia. Today, we're doing things a little differently. It's an interview video. I'm pretty sure I'm filming this after recording the interview, so I'm pretty sure I already do like a whole intro and shit in that. But but I just want to say thank you. Thank you to everybody, all 23 of you who have subscribed, all of you who comment, like, all 40 of you who follow us on Instagram. Thank you, Darth Christensen and Sean Chambers. You guys are some of the best co hosts and some of the best people that I've encountered in the Star Wars community. And yeah, again, thank you to Blow on Mandalore for being the biggest inspiration for Tales from Peridia. Yeah, fucking great people, absolute great people. Commander Jesse, Star Wars Sith 66, always giving me tips on stream yards and like how to just give better content. But we're gonna do it a little bit differently. We're going to do the fan segment before the interview. We got a couple double questions and just a lot of questions in general. I put out on my Instagram, just thanking you guys and asking, what do you want to see? What would you like to see us cover? What do you want to see from Tales from Peridia or Star Wars Nerd? So, let's get into it. Our first one comes from me. Had a great time filming each episode, interviewing such great people, and I can't wait for season 2 upgrades. I agree with myself. I can't wait to upgrade my camera, the microphones, all that stuff. And I'm apologizing. I'm just kind of realizing that my camera's kind of cockeyed and I'm not getting up to fix it, so I'm sorry. But yeah, we're going to be upgrading a lot of stuff, and we're going to be pumping out content after content after content. We got, book coverages, canon and legends. We've got lore videos coming. This is just Tales from Peridia and Star Wars Nerd. It's not just Tales from Peridia. This is kind of an update for both. But yeah, it's going to be great. Chase Harley 905 on YouTube. How do you feel about Jar Jar Binks, and how do you think Luke's story should have gone as opposed to Disney's version? One, Jar Jar Binks has grown on me. I used to think he was very annoying, and now I get really happy every time I see Ahmed Best or Jar Jar Binks in general. And Jar Jar is fucking amazing and should be the ultimate Sith Lord. And as for Luke's story, I don't want to, just like copy word for Legends, but, go on to rebuild the Jedi Order. Be helpful, be a beam of light in the galaxy like he's supposed to be. Not a fucking hermit that's fucking, oh man, I had a bad thought, and my nephew, and it was a bad dream, but, yeah, no. Luke Skywalker should have been a beam of light and hope in the galaxy, as opposed to what Disney did. We've got Blore on Mandalore / Jeremy Blore. Are they the same people? I don't know. I've never seen them in the same fucking room together. So who knows? He's got an absolute banger of a crew. Jeremy's got a twin. Is Jeremy even the one doing the videos? I wonder how many times he's had his brother swap in. But he says, honestly, loving the style right now. Keep moving, making moves in directions you want to go. I don't see much criticism. I see someone who's coming into their own creativity, and I love it. Where do you see this channel in the long run? What's your end goal? My end goal is honestly to just create a space where we can discuss Star Wars, nerdy shit, comic books, movies, fucking, superhero movies, Marvel, DC, and just movies in pop culture in general. I just want it to be a safe space where we can all just, come and have a great time. And my end goal, honestly, I'm shooting for the stars here, but I've given up one too many times with like YouTube music and shit like that, and I'm not giving up now. I'm gonna keep grinding and grinding and grinding, and I would love to interview Sam Witwer or Dave Filoni. And initially, I would love to interview George Lucas. I mean, who would not love to interview George Lucas? But that one there is a real fucking long shot. But if I could if I could interview anybody from Star Wars, whether that be Hayden Christensen, Ashley Eckstein, Sam Witwer, Dave Filoni, fucking John Favreau, fucking just anybody from the prequels, anybody from the Clone Wars, that would be my ultimate like end goal. That is like, yeah, I just want to talk Star Wars with the people who create and were in Star Wars. I want to talk about Star Wars with them. And I would love to eventually, even if it's just some minor role working there, I would love to work for, Star Wars. Assuming that they go in a different direction than what they're going now. We've got Darth Christensen. The first episode and coverage of The Acolyte has been a fun journey. May the Force be with you. Also, I'd love to see some more theories and more fan stories, such as the Shroud of Darkness. Brother, just stay tuned. I pretty much give you all the updates of what's coming on firsthand. So, yeah, there's a lot coming. There's a lot coming. We're going to be doing some fan films. We're going to be learning some animation in Blender. So just look up. And I think that is the final one. It is. Again, thank you all to everybody who watches, likes, subscribes, comments, follows, whatever it is you do. Thank you. Enjoy this interview with Cameron Holdaway, aka Cam the Movie Man. Awesome fucking dude. And this is a kind of a segue into what we're going to be taking the channel forward with. So enjoy, and may the Force or the thread be with you all. Peace.
He is to be trained then? He is the chosen one. You must see it.
Hello there. Welcome to Tales from Peridia, this season finale. Today, we've got a very special guest. He has been on YouTube for a while, but he is quickly gaining views and subscribers. I don't remember how I came across his page, but he makes entertaining videos, movie recommendations, and feature Fridays. Today, we've got Cam the Movie Man, aka Cameron Holdaway. I'm sorry if I pronounced your last name wrong.
You got it. You got it.
So, yeah, this is kind of a very special episode of Tales from Peridia because this is going to kind of kickstart off what I want to do in season 2, which is just ramble on about stuff I love, whether that's Star Wars, movies in general, pop culture, video games. It don't matter. That was the whole point of this show, and the Acolyte kind of took it over. And we need to turn that around.
Yeah, Acolyte.
Unfortunately, we are still going to talk about this show for just a little bit because I want to get your thoughts and opinions and your overall rating of the show as a whole.
For sure.
So,
yeah,
how's that? What'd you think?
Yeah, so the Acolyte, I will admit there are some things I I did actually like about it, but there were mostly things that I didn't like about it. So for things I did like, a lot of people talk about the lightsaber combat. I thought it was some of the best fight choreography we've seen since the prequels. I know a lot of people mention that. Whoever choreographed it should have choreographed the sequels as well, because those
Oh,
lightsaber fights
dude.
were garbage.
I mean, personally, I think they need to just get Nick Gillard back, but
Oh yeah, I totally
Disney
agree.
just for some reason doesn't want to hire that
Yeah.
man. He
Um.
costs too much.
Yeah. I loved. I think it was episode 5. I just loved like the whole Khmer's use of the cortosis to like disable the lightsabers. Like I thought that was super cool and unique. We've never seen that before, so I loved that.
I wish they
Um,
utilized that more, man.
they Yeah. Um, Honestly, that was pretty much all I did. I loved seeing Darth Plagueis. His appearance was awesome and honestly kind of terrifying. Like when he like peeked behind the rock and you just see his like evil face, like it kind of like scared the crap out of me. And I had to like rewind it and like rewatch it. But it was awesome. Also seeing Yoda at the end, even though it was the back of his head, that was cool. Um, Honestly, that's pretty much all I liked about the show.
Yeah,
Um,
man, that's some major things to actually like. To be honest with you, them saber fights could have been a lot worse. I mean,
oh yeah, I was kind of worried, but
I'm surprised they were able to get such good choreography with such big clunky hilts. But
yeah.
hey,
Um,
man, props to them.
oh yeah. Kalnaka was kind of a wasted character, and that ended up being a huge disappointment. I mean, he was the first live action Wookiee Jedi.
And we don't have
They
many
should
of
have
them.
made full use of that. I would have loved to see Kalnaka just go ham on Khmer, but obviously we didn't see that happen, so that was kind of a big letdown.
Yeah, it probably wasn't much of a fight, to be honest with you, considering how a 9 foot tall Wookiee instantly killed by a single saber slash to the chest. Something ain't right there. Something's not mathing.
No. Yeah, a lot of the creative choices I kind of just like didn't really agree with. What else? Honestly, like I couldn't care less for any of the characters, which is a big problem. Master Soul honestly was like really the only likable character for me. Chimera was an intriguing character as well, but everyone
That's what
else,
everybody's talked about is Soul and Chimere, dude.
yeah, everyone else, I just couldn't really give a crap about. And I mean, they all die anyways, pretty much the entire cast. So I guess that doesn't even matter. So, like, Vernestra, just the way she was portrayed in the show, just not very likable, and the way she just throws Soul under the bus was kind of just like a dick move.
Yeah, see, I've never read the High Republic books, but I've seen a lot of critique about her character because apparently her character in the books is nothing like what we saw on screen.
No,
And
I've read a bunch of the books. They're not my favorite. Um, I don't know what it is about the High Republic era. Like it sounds like a cool idea. Like it's supposed to go into how the Sith infiltrate the um like the Republic and stuff like that, which is what I thought the Acolyte was going to be about, but didn't really go into that
isn't
a
that
whole
the whole
lot.
point of
And that's the
isn't
other
that the
thing I
point of
didn't
the
like.
Phantom
Like
Menace, man?
the marketing for this was kind of just awful because it was marketed as being this like martial arts inspired murder mystery, which and dark side focused, which was cool, but it wasn't really that dark side focused because most of the main characters were Jedi. So it was like, okay. And then the mystery gets revealed in like the first episode. We know who the
Dude,
culprit is. So then there's literally no mystery. So I was like, well, then why did you market it as this?
Dude,
I
I
don't
think
know.
it's like exactly like 9.5 minutes into the first episode, we find out that there's twins. It's like, really, bro? You think
Yeah.
that I'm that stupid that you got to explain it to me 9 minutes into the murder mystery? Like,
It,
come on, dude. I grew up watching Scooby Doo, bro. Like, give me at least 15. Come on.
yeah. And then, like, honestly, I'm kind of getting sick of the whole, like, Force Witch thing. I mean, the Night Sisters were cool in, like, the Clone Wars. But then they, like, showed up again in, like, Ahsoka, and then a little bit in the Tales of the Empire, and then now we get this Force Coven of witches. I don't
I think
know.
it would
I'm
have
just not
been
a fan
better
of the witch thing.
if they were going with to keep up with the witch theme. I think they should have gone with Night Sisters, but that is thankfully one of the things that Dave Filoni was consulted about. He was like, no, 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 no. You're not touching these, bro. You've already done enough damage before I can tell you no, but you're not doing this.
Yeah. So I guess overall, I probably have to say that this show was probably like the worst Star Wars we've seen probably since the holiday special, and that's saying something. But
Dude, I'm about to be watching the holiday special once I hit 200 subs on my main channel.
I probably ought to. I've seen it like 3 times. I should probably give it another rewatch.
Dude, according to Rotten Tomatoes, the Acolyte was worse than that.
Oh my god, the holiday special like was actually a fun movie compared to the show. But
Dude, I dreaded just every Tuesday. I was just like, man, I gotta watch this shit. And not only do I have to watch it, but I'm gonna have to watch it like 2 or 3 times to like break it down for content. And I just like everybody I've encountered about this show has been, oh, you've only given it one shot. No, dude, I've watched each episode like 3 to 6 times just for the content alone, and
well,
each rewatch just got worse and worse.
well,
Especially
respect. I've
episode
only I've
three and
only seen
seven.
it through once, and I don't know if I'm gonna rewatch it anytime soon.
Oh, dude, no. I was gonna rewatch it and give it like an updated like thoughts on it. Like, oh, well, maybe if I watch it in this specific order, in a bingeable order, maybe it'll be better. And just the
No.
stuff they did to kind of mimic Anakin Skywalker's story arc, the fanboyism in me just it's not letting it slide. Like, no, that's just it's up there in the sequels with me. Like, okay, like you exist, but I'm just not gonna acknowledge you like whatsoever. Even
Yeah,
though I've
I
talked about it for the past like month and a half now.
yeah. So I mean, if it does get a season 2, hopefully it drastically improves. But I don't really have high hopes for it.
I don't think they're getting a season 2, bro.
No.
They had $180 million budget, and this show seems like they produced it off of like two. Like, I
Yeah.
feel like I could have done this show entirely better on my phone. You
Yeah. It.
shouldn't feel that way about a multi-million-dollar budget project. Like, and that's the thing. I've seen your fan film, dude. It looked 10 times better than
Oh,
some of the
thanks.
like just some of the things that were in the Acolyte. Like, just the whole speeder bike CGI, like that just was terrible.
Yeah.
Your writing was actually a lot more cohesive than the dang Acolyte.
Like I just didn't know where they were trying to go and what they. Yeah, I don't know. And then the other thing, like this Basil character, I didn't really get the point of him. Like there's that scene where Soul's like chasing May, and then Basil like disables the ship. And then
Dude,
Soul just like doesn't acknowledge it. He just looks back at him like all angry, but then he like doesn't acknowledge it at all. He doesn't confront him like, dude, why did you like disable the ship? Like he just moves on like it was no big deal. I was like, well, what was the point? I just
what's bad is imagine if George Lucas had had a scene like that in Empire Strikes Back when they're trying to avoid the Empire. Like, oh, they're going in the asteroid belt, and Chewie just freaking rips the electrical out. Like, bro, I guarantee George Lucas would have had them die right then and there in the asteroid field. Like,
Yeah.
it just seemed. And don't get me wrong, I love the seismic charge scene in Attack of the Clones, but the
Oh,
more
yeah.
and more they do asteroid field scenes, I feel like it takes away from the suspense and the thrill of Empire Strikes Back, like the original scene of them doing it. Like, you don't know if they're going to get out, and then they end up being inside of a giant worm, a space worm's mouth. Like, now don't get me wrong, the spaceship chase was cool throughout the asteroid belt or whatever it was on Brendog, but yeah, I feel like there would have been a lot more consequences of Basil's actions if George was still in charge.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, the Acolyte, probably the worst of all the Star Wars Disney Plus shows. I didn't really get into it.
Yeah, I've seen you comment a couple times across my videos. Like, I don't know how to feel about this show. I don't know what they're trying to do, dude. Like, how do they want me to feel? And it's
Yeah.
like everybody said, like, who am I supposed to be rooting for? Why do you want me to root for them, man? Like, am I supposed to root for Soul, who killed this little girl's mother? Or am I supposed to root for this girl that just killed her adoptive father figure? Like, what do you want me to do here?
Yeah. I don't know.
But your overall, like, out of 10 ranking for the show, what would you rank it?
Probably like a 3.
That's more like it. Everybody I've talked to's been like, yeah, it's like between a 4 and a 6. And I'm like, you guys are ranking it a little too high. Like, you're being a little too generous right now. Like,
Yeah. Like a whole season and none of the characters were likable at all. Like Yord was kind of just like a holier than thou kind of jerk the whole time.
hey,
Becky was
we do
annoying.
not accept Yord slander on this channel, man. We are part of the Yord Horde, and that man deserved. I mean, I knew he was gonna die, but like, come on, man, really? That dark of a neck snap? Jesus.
Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah, enough talking about that show now. We've got a couple questions that we typically ask our guests around here. And since you are kind of the kickoff into the newish style that we're trying to take on, I've got about one or two off the top of the head questions I'm going to end up throwing in there that will eventually make it into the new list of questions. But our first one is a Star Wars related question. What got you into Star Wars? Like, what is your first memory of just anything Star Wars that got you like this is it? Like, I love this. Like, I want to continue seeing these.
So I don't remember exactly how old I was when I saw Star Wars for the first time, but it was the original trilogy. I think it was my mom that showed me them. We had them on like VHS.
Oh,
Yeah, cool. And I remember liking them. And then for like Christmas, I got like a bag of Star Wars action figures that I still have, and I played the heck out of those. Like I did a video. Yeah, I showed my General Grievous action figure. It only has one arm left. All the others like broke off because I just
hey, it's lore accurate, man.
And all my other one, they're either like they're missing an arm or like the legs are super loose or like anyway. But so yeah, I played with those a ton. I got this awesome like Darth Vader piggy bank for Christmas too that had a button that it like played the Imperial March and then Darth Vader like talks.
What?
It's the coolest thing. I still
That was
have
a
that
piggy
too.
bank?
Yeah. It was sick.
Dude, I'm jealous. The only piggy bank I had growing up was a peanut M&M.
Yeah. And then I remember going to like Costco with my dad to buy the original trilogy, the box set. It was like the full screen with like the gold case or whatever.
Oh
Uh,
shoot!
so I remember being super excited to go get that, and then watching them when we got home. And then my dad also took me to like this Star Wars concert. They like played a bunch of the music.
Oh, was it like they played the movie and they played the music live,
I don't
or
remember
was
if they
it?
played the movie. I think it was just the music, but they had
Oh,
like
shit.
when they played. I think they did Battle of the Heroes and Duel of the Fates, and they actually had like guys on the stage like fighting.
Dude, that is awesome.
It was sick. And they're like Star Wars characters like walking around. So I've always loved Star Wars, but it really wasn't till like The Force Awakens was coming out that it kind of like reignited my like passion for it, and that's what got me more interested in like collecting Star Wars stuff. So it was like the first Star Wars movie to come out in like 10 years. Revenge of the Sith was the first movie I saw in the theater. And so I'd always liked Star Wars, but I wasn't like obsessed with it like I am now until like Force Awakens came out. Then I was like, well, now I love Star Wars. And then I started like collecting stuff, and so yeah,
Yeah,
that's
for
kind of
anybody who hasn't seen this man's tour of his collectibles, he's got some things up there that I'm pretty jealous about.
yeah. I gotta say my favorite thing. If I had to pick one favorite thing I have in my collection, it's this. Um, it's like Darth Vader's helmet, but it's like a radio and CD player. I got it at a
What?
thrift shop for like $30.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, I
Hey,
love
this man
collecting
must be a
Star
mind reader. You just
Yeah.
answered one of the off the top of
What's
the
my
head questions I had.
nice?
That is two people who have just knocked out questions that I didn't even get to ask just yet.
Getting ahead of myself.
Oh man, that I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying everybody that I brought on this podcast. I'm not gonna lie. You guys have you guys have made me laugh my ass off the past like 3 weeks, and I've kind of needed that.
Yeah.
But who is your favorite Star Wars character of all time? Like your favorite character in the books, movies, shows, games, board games, like your all-time favorite character.
That's a tough question. I mean, my first go-to answer would probably be Darth Vader. I mean, you've seen my video. I have kind of like a mini Darth Vader shrine, and that's funny. That like, it's not because I went out of my way to like specifically like I just happened to get a bunch of Darth Vader stuff. Um, I mean, ever since his like first entrance on screen in A New Hope, he like walks out. He's with like all the smoke behind him. He has his awesome breathing. Like he just has the coolest costume, and then James Earl Jones's voice. So yeah, probably Darth Vader would be my favorite. But I mean, I love Luke too. I love Mark Hamill. Um, Man, it's hard to
Perfect
just
father
pick
son duo.
one favorite character.
All right, Mr. George Lucas, keep your secrets. You can't
Yeah,
just pick one. It's this character, but in reality, it's this character. In reality, it's this character.
yeah, I like them all, except maybe the acolyte ones. I don't know. I don't know about
Oh man. Oh, I like that. I like all of them except for the acolyte ones. Oh, oh man. So our next one, I'm kind of trying to start. I don't know why my brain just brain farted right there, but I'm trying to get this question to kind of, I guess, spark some stuff in the fandom. You got to chase some views every once in a while. But
for
so
sure.
far, it hasn't really struck a nerve with anybody. Maybe I'm just not posting it on the right account. But do you consider Disney Star Wars as actual Star Wars or essentially as an extended universe despite it being canon?
Huh. It's an interesting question. I mean, I think I still do consider it Star Wars, even though I feel like with Disney, have they've had, especially the sequel trilogy, they've had just so many missed opportunities. The biggest one, like not having like Han, Luke, and Leia be properly reunited in the sequel trilogy at all, and then they just
That
get
is
killed off one by one. Like,
that is something that I've talked to a lot of people about, and they're like, it a lot of people I've talked to said, if they would have just, had the original trio unite, it could have been a lot better. Just give me one scene of them all reuniting, not a forced ghost vision of Luke kissing his sister's forehead. Like, so I
yeah,
agree with you there. They really missed on giving us the original trio back.
yeah, uh, yeah, and I just feel like, I mean, yeah, they were trying to introduce these new characters, but I still feel like Luke was just so underused in the sequel trilogy. I disagreed with a lot of the creative choices they went with his character, especially in The Last Jedi. That's not the Luke Skywalker that we
Anybody
grew to
knows.
love over the years. Like he wouldn't just, I don't know. So yeah, I've disagreed with a lot of things that Disney has done with Star Wars, but I mean they also gave us stuff like The Mandalorian, which is an awesome
Which
show.
I'm loving
I
that
love it.
shirt.
Thank you. It's one of my. I have too many Star Wars shirts, but
One can never have too many. I'm
no,
currently wearing a Zeb shirt from Rebels.
nice. But yeah, and then so yeah, Disney's done some stuff I like with Star Wars, but a lot of stuff I was kind of disappointed with.
Shoot, our first off the top of the head question: what's your favorite Disney Star Wars project? And don't say the Mandalorian.
Okay, I was gonna say The Mandalorian.
Nah,
Mainly
you can
because
say the
like
Mandalorian. That's such a great show.
Batman's my favorite superhero, and like the Mandalorian kind of is just like the Batman of Star Wars. Like he just has all these cool gadgets. He has like cool armor. I love Pedro Pascal. He did an awesome job. Um, but I guess I mean, I liked of this. I guess with the movies, I think The Force Awakens is probably my favorite. A lot of people complain that it was like too similar to A New Hope. But I kind of like get past that. Like there was enough fresh new stuff in it. And it was like it was a fun, entertaining movie. It had good characters. It was the first Star Wars movie to come out in 10 years. I got to see it opening night. And I mean, seeing a Star Wars movie in a theater is unlike
Yeah, dude.
anything else. Um, I did miss the Fox like fanfare at the beginning. That's
Man,
kind of the
nobody
fun of like
nobody
any
wants to
Star Wars
see
movie. Yeah,
that.
but it's probably The Force Awakens, I guess, would be my favorite non-TV show.
Yeah, that I think that's a first for anybody that I've interviewed that they
Really?
said that. That's
Huh.
but not a lot of the people that I've talked to, they're also in agreement that number 7 is probably the best of the sequels because it doesn't, as much as yes, it can be like a reboot of A New Hope, there is enough differences that it can be distinguished as its own film, and of course, it doesn't ruin Luke Skywalker just yet. It just kind of gives us that one little glimpse of
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
But that's interesting that you compared Batman to, or yeah, the Batman to the Mandalorian, because I tried watching Batman Begin. Well, I did watch Batman Begins, and I got about 30 minutes into the Dark Knight, and dude, I can't with those movies. I don't know what it is. I'm gonna still
Really?
give the Dark Knight a fair chance and Dark Knight Rises, but there's just something about the movies that like I just did not care about Batman whatsoever. Like I liked him more training like as a ninja with Liam Neeson, and starting up being Batman as opposed to taking down the Scarecrow and Ra's al Ghul. Like I don't know, man. I feel like Mando is a bit better and cooler character than Batman.
Yeah.
But I think you're also the first person that I've interviewed that said that Batman is like their favorite superhero. So that's pretty cool. That is very different. That is not the basic Spider-Man or Superman. Like I feel like not a lot of people talk about Batman nowadays.
I agree. I loved like the new Batman movie with like Robert Pattinson.
I've yet to see that. I hear that one's really good.
It's really good because it's actual because Batman's supposed to be a detective, you know, that's his thing. And so like he's actually solving a mystery in it. He's not just like pounding on bad guys like the whole time. And so he's actually like being a detective in that movie, which I really like.
Yeah, see, I grew up with the George Clooney era Batman, Batman and Robin, Batman Forever, Batman Returns. and, and as cheesy as those movies are, I think I prefer those over, Batman Begins, The Dark Knight Rises. Just probably just, nostalgia, the fact that I grew up watching those for like 15 to 20 years.
Yeah, that's fair.
Although I'm still not a big fan of the whole bat nipples and rubber suit type thing, but just
No.
the rest of the campiness of the movie, it makes up for it.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't get lines like, I want a car. Chicks dig the car. This is why Superman works alone. We don't get anything like that nowadays. It
No.
all seems forced.
Yeah.
Like
It's just
everything's made
everything's
to
too
connect with
serious.
each other.
Yeah.
All right, so we don't need to ask the acolyte question. I actually probably should go ahead and take that off. We'll do that live. Because by the time we come back from season 2, I'm not going to be talking about that god awful show. You already answered. Well, you answered the Disney era. What's your favorite Star Wars movie, show, video game, like of any era?
Favorite movie, I it's a really really close tie between A New Hope and Empire. I just love A New Hope because, you know, it's just a super fun movie. The special effects were like amazing for its time, you know, still seeing like the Star Destroyer flying overhead. The trench run on the Death Star is just as intense as it was the first time I saw it, even though I know exactly what's going to happen. It still like keeps you on the edge of your seat. You know, I loved all the humor in it, the roasting between like Leia and Han when they're escaping from the Death Star. Like it's just such a fun movie. I can watch it anytime and not get sick of it. Like I just love A New Hope. Let's see. Clone Wars. I love the Clone Wars. Um, I I actually watched it for the first time like a few years ago. Um, and yeah, I love the Clone Wars, especially all the Darth Maul stuff.
I was about to ask which version, the 2D or the 3D, but you just answered with the Darth Maul stuff. Have you actually seen the 2D Clone Wars? Like, did you
I
watch
have,
that
yeah.
growing up, or were you like me and you saw bits and pieces and then you binged it later on in life?
I think I had seen like clips of it on like YouTube or something. But yeah, I actually watched it through for the first time, like when it got put on Disney Plus under the like vintage Star Wars section or whatever. And then I actually watched it and I was like, this is awesome. Like General
Yeah,
Grievous is like terrifying in it actually. And
dude.
then like Purge's boss, like I wish they could bring him back somehow.
I remember Dave wanted to bring Dirge back, but every time, like something with the animation, they had to continuously like just keep redesigning the character to the point that it looked nothing like the one from Gendy Tartakovsky's. I think I just misbutchered that name completely. But like he just looked nothing like the original character. So Dave was like, it's a new character. We'll just go ahead and make him a new guy. Dirge is Dirge. This is Cad Bane.
Yeah.
So our second off the top of the head question. You not only talk about Star Wars, you talk about movies in general, movie reviews. What got you to want to start making movie-based content? Like, what got you into movie reviews and stuff like that?
Yeah, it was pretty recent. I mean, so I went to school for it. I didn't really go to like a full-on film school, but I went to BYU, Idaho. I got a degree in communications. Video production was my emphasis. So I've always loved like filmmaking and like video making, and like working on short films. And I took like film classes in college. Like I took a film analysis class that I really enjoyed. So I've always loved movies. And so my new account that I kind of just started, like I started like a little over a month ago. It was something I've always wanted to do, just never really knew the right way to do it. Or eventually I was just like, I just gotta just start at some point. So I started doing it because I love like film history too. That's something I've always been interested in. So I love sharing like cool facts about film history that most people probably don't know about. I love sharing cool obscure facts and like bits of trivia here and there, and just like talking about movies that I enjoy. I also like talking about, kind of obscure movies to like put them out there and get people to watch, like movies that a lot of people don't know about or have never heard of, that
Like Shattered
deserve being
Glass.
watched and deserve getting attention and talked about. So yeah, that's kind of like what I enjoy doing.
You have any? Well, it's not really a live, but live recording movie recommendations for anybody at home watching to go see real quick. Like your most recent, like top 2 movies that you just seen.
What have I watched recently? I might have to pull up like my letterbox. Um, I mean, one of my all-time favorite movies is The Man from Snowy River, and I recently did a video about it. It's a movie I grew up with, and it's just the cinematography in it and the soundtrack is just awesome. It has great acting. If you're into westerns, and that's definitely one I would recommend checking out. It did so well that Disney actually got the rights to do a sequel to it, Return to Snowy River, which is good as well, but I still prefer the first movie. What other movie would I recommend? I mean, if you've never seen Rear Window, like my favorite Alfred Hitchcock movie by far, and it's actually going to be coming back to theaters in August. So if you have the chance to see it on the big screen, I would definitely recommend it. Um, I love a lot of I watch a lot of classic, like old movies. I watch a lot of newer movies too, but I just love like good classics.
You got me to rewatch Tarzan for the first time, and oh god, I don't even know how many years, dude.
Tarzan's like peak
I was,
Disney.
I was glued to my screen after watching you talk about that movie, dude.
Love Tarzan. Like, yeah, if you've never seen Tarzan, like get off your butt and go watch it. Like
Be prepared for one of the most fire movie soundtracks of your life.
Oh yeah, Phil Collins.
Like we've got the Star Wars soundtracks, but like Phil Collins in that movie like surpassed John Williams creating Duel of the Fates, dude.
Top tier for sure.
Bruh. Like my TV sometimes is pretty low when I'm watching movies, so I gotta like turn it up real loud just to kind of hear what's going on. Dude, I was rushing and could not turn my TV down fast enough because the music was just so loud and blaring.
That's awesome.
Oh, our next question: what is your favorite non-Star Wars hobby?
Favorite non-Star Wars hobby? I'm a big supporter of physical media. So I love collecting movies. I own probably over 300 DVDs. I own a lot. Because I mean,
I thought I had a lot with my like
streaming,
100.
movies come and go from streaming services all the time, and so like it, and some movies are like really hard to find, like if they're not on a streaming service, and so I try
Yeah.
to buy movies that I know I enjoy enough to rewatch, whenever. Um, and so if a movie's good enough that I would watch over and over again, I'll get it. Um, Also, like internet can never always be entirely reliable. Internet crashes, and so goodbye streaming. But if you have like a DVD player, you got physical movies, no problem. You don't have to worry about like trying to find it on some pirating website or something. You can just take it off the shelf and watch it. So I love collecting movies that I enjoy. Um, I like making movies too. Me and a friend of mine, we just shot a short horror movie that we had our premiere for last month. We just sent it to some film festivals.
And I
Um,
wasn't invited. I'm heartbroken, Cameron.
Unfortunately, until like it gets screened at one of these festivals, it's not yet available for like public viewing, but I promise it will go up on YouTube eventually, hopefully soon.
Dude,
Um,
that sounds awesome. I had no idea that you did that.
yeah, it was super fun to make. So yeah, I love like being on a film set, like making a movie. I directed like a dumb short superhero comedy movie called Captain Justice. You can find it on my YouTube channel. Um, it was with one of my old roommates. That was a lot of fun. We had fun with it. So yeah, like collecting movies, making movies, collecting Star Wars stuff. I know that goes against your question. Non-Star Wars hobbies. Um, Not related to movie. Like I love traveling. I lived in Brazil for 4 years. That's where I did high school.
Bro,
Actually,
what?
yeah. So that was wild. I've been to like Machu Picchu, South Africa, Argentina. So I love traveling. I might be going to Greece like
This
sometime
man
this
just
fall.
completing side quests at this point in life. What the
Oh
hell?
yeah.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah. Still
Well,
can't believe I actually lived in Brazil, but that was an interesting experience for sure.
that is definitely interesting. What? I think everybody well, aside from the Commander Jesse episode, which drops before this one, he's the first like out of the country person that I've ever interviewed. Like he lives in Australia, and
Oh,
that was a fun pain in the ass to coordinate time to work that out.
what even time zone are the Pacific?
I don't even know. I just know that we talked about it in the video, and he's like 14 or 16 hours ahead or something like that. It
Yeah.
was like 8:45 when we started recording our video, and it was 8:45 in the morning for me, but it was like 10 something for him at night.
Yeah.
Oh man. So I kind of ran out of questions on my notes over here. So I'll come up with like two more, and then to be honest with you, I'll probably hop off here because I need to get back to sleep.
That's good.
But so just, what's your favorite part of the movie making process? Is it filming? Is it editing? Post production? Pre production? I mean, personally, I don't know much about movie making aside from point camera at stars and make it look good.
Um, I think my favorite part is production. Actually like being on the set. Um, I I'm not the biggest fan of directing, honestly. I kind of like the producing side. Like making sure everything on the set runs smoothly, that people are where they're supposed to be. Um, or helping organize like the cast and crew. So I just love being on the set, kind of acting. I use this phrase a lot. You're kind of like a human multi-tool. You kind of do a bit of everything. I love helping with like special effects, like in this horror movie that I helped on. Basically all the creepy stuff that you see in it, like a door opening by itself. That was like all me for the most
Oh
part. So
shoot!
that was super fun. And it can be a lot of long days, like 12 plus hours of filming, but like it's just
It's
so
like
worth
any
it.
other job.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I just love like the production side, just being there, seeing everything like come together, working with the director to make sure their vision gets realized. And it's just super fulfilling.
Dude, that's awesome. Like, I'm kind of jealous that like I've watched movies my whole life, and like I eventually like want to turn my Star Wars fan fiction into like either an animated movie or
That'd be
I would
sweet.
love to do live action, but some of the ideas I have is a lot crazier than Kevin Smith, you know, practically ruining himself financially to make Clerks in 1994. Or George Lucas taking out all those loans and credit cards for freaking to make
Uh,
Star Wars.
It almost
I,
killed
I
him too. Like he was literally hospitalized because got so stressed. Like he almost died. Jeez.
so I think Blender and animation would be my way to go. I think,
Yeah.
but even then, like that would stress me out because you get say you're making like a 2.5 hour movie full animation and you get to the last bit and everything gets corrupted. Or
It's
you have a Toy Story 2 incident where you accidentally delete everything and you got to call some executive that's home pregnant to bring in a backup copy, the only backup copy.
I've never heard of that. Did that actually happen?
Yeah, so I don't know if the worker was actually pregnant, but somebody along the editing lines messed up and deleted Toy Story 2, and they had one backup copy, and the person who had it was off that day and had to come and bring it to them so they could restore the movie.
Oh my gosh. I've never heard of that. That's awesome.
It was either Toy Story or Toy Story 2. I can't remember which one, but yeah, that movie we just almost didn't get it because the budget would have been ridiculous to reanimate everything. I think
Oh,
they should have been like double or triple the original amount that they had to work with, and they were already crunched for time.
that's nuts.
Oh yeah, just imagine that though. Just imagine being the guy that almost ruined Toy Story.
That's what they're going to be remembered for the rest of their life.
I I guarantee they're like, if this lady don't come in with, or whoever it was, if they don't come in with this copy, like I'm done for. Like this is it for me. Like I will never work in Hollywood again.
Man,
Oh,
that's
and
cool.
I'm gonna come up with one final question. I don't know. To be honest with you, I had something on the tip of my tongue, but while we were talking, it kind of escaped with the rest of the thoughts.
Hey, when that
Um,
happens.
so, what is your favorite movie of all time? Not just Star Wars, but just like your favorite movie. Like you have a bad day, a sick day, or whatever, and it's just the first movie you think to throw on to, your comfort movie.
Comfort movie. I'll say The Man from Snowy River again. I just love that movie so much. And it's just a really uplifting story. But another one, probably like Buzz Lightyear Star Command, like the movie. Why
Dude,
it's not on Disney Plus, I don't know. I've requested it like 20 times and they still won't put it on. It's just such a good movie. And like Wayne Knight from like Jurassic Park and Seinfeld and Tarzan, even like he's the voice of Zurg. Like Buzz Lightyear
dude,
Star Command, the movie is it's such a good movie, has such a cool story. That's another
I
movie I
don't,
grew up with on VHS. I love it.
dude, I don't remember ever actually watching that movie, but I remember the show that they had on like Jetix at the time before they switched to Disney XD.
Yeah.
Dude, I remember being so mad as a little kid. Like, this is not how Buzz Lightyear looks. And like, I sat down and watched it. I was like, this is amazing. Like, what?
Yeah.
But yeah,
I still
that's
need to
about all
actually
the
watch the show.
questions. That's about all the questions that I have for today, man. Is there anything that you'd like to talk about before we hop off of here?
I guess just to as a quick plug for myself, I don't know. If you want to
Oh
find
yeah,
me, you can find me on YouTube and Instagram under Cam the Movie Man. Um, you can just go ahead and follow me. Um, I guess to ask you a quick question, as a fellow Star Wars collector, what's the favorite thing that you got?
easily go on a little tour right here. Now, a lot of people would be like, "Oh, it's a Funko Pop, or it's a figure, or it's that." No, it Tusken Slayer, easily my favorite lightsaber, my favorite collectible. I play with this thing literally every day.
Nice. I got like a Disney version I got from Galaxy's Edge. Let's see if I can turn it on. It like lights up, like makes sounds.
Dude, hold up. Is that like the discontinued like Disney Parks one for Luke and Ray?
I don't know if it's discontinued. If it is, like,
Because I know for like I got a Darth Vader one that I got from Disney Parks, and they don't have like Ray or Anakin or Luke's whatever the youngling Slayer owner is now. But like in the UK, they still sell it, and every time I come across like that exact model, bro, it is so expensive. It's like $300. I'm like, that's not even like the master replica. That's not even the fourth effects. Like that's not even the ultimate effects. Like, why is it so much?
yeah, jeez. So yeah, then when it comes to like collecting Star Wars, like, is there a certain thing you focus on? Like 3 3/4 inch action figures or Funko Pops or lightsabers? Is there like a certain focus, or do you just go after anything like me? Go after anything that has like the Star Wars logo on it?
Dude, as long as it's got the Star Wars logo and I think it'll look good on my shelf, I go after it. Like
I
like
agree.
the other day when me and you were texting, I found the DVD of the Clone Wars Volume One for $1.
Steal.
Now, if I can just find the special edition DVDs of the original trilogy that came with the original theatrical cut, I'd be happy.
Oh
But those DVDs are like $60 each.
yeah, it's a lot.
But yeah, man. Is there anything else?
If you had to pick an all-time favorite movie, what would it be? Not Star Wars.
Oh, dude. Oh, see, for the past like 5 or 6 years, it's been the original Clerks 1994 movie from Kevin Smith, starring Brian O'Halloran, Jeff Anderson, Jay and Silent Bob, just the story behind it, like the quick stop that they filmed in was the actual store that Kevin Smith worked at, and he was only allowed to film it at night. That's why the entire movie's in black and white. And at the time, I was I still kind of am just like a menial clerk, like so I relate to that movie so much, just like with the entire day, Dante just going, I'm not even supposed to be here today, and just the constant bitching and moaning, because that was me when I worked like in management and stuff. I'm like, I'm not even supposed to be here. This is bullshit. Like, why am I the one that's got to come in? Why do I say yes all the time? But recently, it's been Starship Troopers from 1997. I threw that movie in just off of a whim. Like, hey, I've never seen this movie before, because I got a bunch of my grandpa's movies after he died a couple years ago, and I'm slowly working my way through them. And the entire premise took me by surprise. Within the first opening scene of the movie, you get the iconic meme going around, the I'm doing my part. I'm doing my part. I didn't do shit. Like, it's literally within the first like 30 seconds of the movie, dude. It just had me dying the entire time. And I've rewatched it like 3 times since then, and it just gets better and better every time.
Nice. That's one I still haven't actually seen yet. I need to get around to it.
Dude. Unfortunately, it follows the Nightmare on Elm Street movie saga type deal. Like, you got the first one, and then you got the second one, but it doesn't really follow the events of the first one. And then the third one is like the true sequel to the first one. So I don't know if you need to see number 2, but because I only have the first and the third movie, but there's like 5 of those movies out there.
I didn't know there are that many.
Yeah, 3 live action and 2 animated ones, I think it is.
Huh. Interesting.
But you got anything else for me, good buddy?
Let's see.
Oh, this man was prepared. He got.
I wrote
the paper.
Right. I guess just a quick last thing. I'm not a big fan of like ranking stuff, but in order from best to worst, in your opinion, of the Disney Star Wars shows,
the best is easily Mandalorian.
Oh yeah.
Quickly followed by Ahsoka. Then, dang, hold on. Let me. I got a tier list. Sorry, my mic just died on me. Where's my thingy? All right, so easily of the Disney era for best, we've got Tales of the Jedi and Mandalorian, followed by Bad Batch and Ahsoka, which were peak. And then we got Amazing, which was Rebels. Okay was Kenobi. Bad was Tales of the Empire. Absolute, like, just terrible, Acolyte and Book of Boba Fett. And so bad that it's not even worth me wasting my time is Star Wars Resistance, Andor, and Star Wars Visions.
Yeah, Book of Boba Fett was kind of a letdown because like his appearance in like season 2 of The Mandalorian was just so cool. He was just like, and honestly, that episode gave me like new respect for Boba Fett. Because before I was like, yeah, he's cool, but I'm not like a Boba fanatic like some people are. like after that episode, I was like, okay, this guy's like actually pretty like bad A. Like he's sweet. But then like the show kind of like the Book of Boba Fett kind of just like ruined him a bit. And I was
Dude,
like,
yeah.
whoa, like what happened to the cool like barbarian like
Dude was cracking stormtrooper helmets in season
yeah
2 of The Mandalorian and getting his butt whooped in the first like 5 minutes of the first episode of Book of Boba Fett. Is like,
yeah, I was like,
bro, what? I didn't even finish the Book of Boba Fett or Andor. Like, I watched the Mandalorian episodes and the Luke Skywalker episodes of Book of Boba Fett, and to be honest, that was just to kind of understand why. Like, I was binging the Mandalorian like all together, and when season 2 ended and Grogu went with Luke, and I start season 3, and all of a sudden he's back. I texted my buddy Darth Christensen. Am I missing something here? Like, he just left with Luke. He's like, oh, I forgot to tell you, you need to go watch episodes 5 and 6 of the Book of Boba Fett in order to understand season 3 why Grogu's already back. I'm like, do I have to watch the rest of the show, dude? Because I've tried watching it, and this is not it.
yeah,
And it's bad when the 2 best episodes of the Book of Boba Fett don't even involve Boba Fett whatsoever.
yeah.
So hopefully in the new Mandalorian movie, at least like 2/3 of the movie just gets taken over by Boba Fett, and it's just him being, the barbaric warrior that we all know and love.
Yeah. I just think they come up with a better title than The Mandalorian and Grogu. Like, it kind of just feels like a lame, like, it kind of just, yeah.
That's a
Hopefully,
title I would expect to come out of the MCU, dude. Like, that is not a Star Wars title.
we already have, like, the Deadpool and Wolverine, like, I don't know, Mandalorian and Grogu, kind of just, hopefully it's just like a placeholder title.
Watch, that's just the working title. In all reality, it's something super amazing.
Yeah, I hope so.
Oh, but yeah, is there anything else that you want to talk about real quick?
I think that's all I've got for right now.
All right, bud. Well, thank you for joining me on here. Hopefully,
Yeah,
we
thanks
can
for
get
having
you
me.
on. Of course. Hopefully, we can get you on sometime in the future as well.
Yeah, it'd be awesome. I love that.
But yeah, for your first time being on the podcast, man, or any podcast or interview, you did pretty well. You didn't
Thank you. Appreciate it.
seem as nervous as I've come across in some of my videos interviewing people.
Glad.
But yeah, all of Cameron's links will be in the description. Go check out his videos. We've already reacted to a Jedi Reborn on the channel. Well, on the Star Wars Nerd channel. Go check out the rest of his things, and let's get this man to 100 subs quickly. He's quickly gaining on it.
About halfway there on YouTube. I think I'm at like 50, 51.
I think it was like 51, 52 last time I checked.
Sweet.
But you are quickly gaining subscribers and views on YouTube, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're doing right, but you're doing it right, and I'm kind of jealous.
Thank you.
But I hope everybody watching has a great day. Cameron, I hope you have a great day. I had a great time recording this, and I'm going to go back to sleep because, for those who don't know, I work overnights, and I overslept and was late to recording this video. But I hope everybody, enjoyed the video, has a great day, and may the force or the thread be with you all. Peace.
Peace. May the force be with you.